All right. So boom. I had to say boom. So anyways, let's start this video. So just the other day, actually, I was on the phone with my cousin, and he was actually watching at the time. I was on the phone with him, Winter Soldier, or Captain America Winter Soldier, and told him I don't know how many times I've seen that movie before. I don't remember. So, but then all of a sudden I caught an idea for a video, and I thought about it. There is an MCU movie that's coming out really soon, and it's Shang-Chi. I think September 3rd it is. Let me move myself up. September 3rd. So I decided to do this. I decided to rank all the MCU movies by this. I know people have their tier list and all that stuff, but we're gonna do something different over here. We're gonna do something totally different. I'm gonna leave it to 3 different tiers: rewatchability, in between, and unwatchability, meaning you can't really watch it that much like that. Only seen it once. And of course, you know what rewatchability is. That's how I rank certain films these days. Some films, I want to say in the last 5 to 10 years, maybe 6 to 10 years, whatever you want to call it. You know what decide it is. Some movies have been, let's say, you see them in movie theaters one time and that's it. You never see them again. You forget it. They was released. You forget it was even a movie. It's been plenty of those in the last, I want to say the last 2 years now. But with the MCU movies, there's plenty of movies like that. But with no further ado, let's dig into what I desire. I say desire. What I think is rewatchable and not rewatchable when it comes to the MCU movies. Roll clip. Hey, turn that music off. Turn that music off. I ain't trying to get copyright strike. You know how YouTube is. So we got rewatchability, in between, and non-rewatchability. Now, how I rank them by rewatchability is like, well, I want to watch an MCU movie. What do I want to watch? What one gets me most excited that it's not a struggle to get through, or I just nod off to sleep, or even do something else during it. And then you got in between, which can go really either way when it comes to this. And then we have non-rewatchability. Films I probably haven't seen that much or many times, or just watch them due to like watching like from beginning, meaning Iron Man, until now. That's what that list goes to. So let me explain it a little bit better. So ones I haven't seen that much or don't really care to see ever again. And so here we go. So we're gonna start up with 2008 Iron Man. I'm gonna put Iron Man in the rewatchability section. That's where I'm gonna put that at. Next, we got the Incredible Hulk that came out the same year. I'll put the Incredible Hulk in between. I've seen it many times by now, but sometimes when I do watch it, I get bored and turn it off, or sometimes I just happen to watch it. So I'll put it in between. Next, we got Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 is the same thing with Hulk. I'm putting it in between. I don't really hate Iron Man 2. I don't really like Iron Man 2. Let's move on. Let's keep on moving. Then we have the 2011 films, Thor and Captain America: First Avenger. Captain First America Avenger, I think it's put in rewatchability. I like it. Thor, in between. That's all I gotta say about it. It's in between for me. All right, let's go to 2012. There's only one. I think it was only one in 2012. I think, and that is the Avengers. Put that in rewatchability. I know how when that movie came out, everybody went crazy, super crazy. Can't really see anything bad about it at all. So let's keep moving on. 2013. Now, when this movie was first released, I think anybody who was expecting to see the Mandarin got hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray. Iron Man 3 is in between for me. I almost want to put it in the non-rewatchability, but even though I hate Iron Man 3 because it did that stuff, got the fake Mandarin and all that, spoiler alert. And with Shang-Chi, whatever you want to pronounce it, Shang-Chi, you're probably supposed to see the real Mandarin, even though he's not named the Mandarin in this film. But it sucks that if that was supposed to be in the Mandarin in this up-and-coming movie, Shang-Chi, it sucks that he's not there to fight Iron Man because Iron Man is dead. But I'm going to put Iron Man 3 in between. I also really want to put it on non-rewatchability list. Moving on, Thor 2, The Dark World. I don't hate that movie. I don't like it. I say sometimes it's not fun to watch, but it's in between. I kind of want to put it in rewatchability, but it's like one of those movies. Think about some of these MCU movies. They're like stepping stones to the next movie. You just watch them because you think you might see something in it, and you also don't want to be lost amongst the story. That's what most of the MCU movies are. But I put Thor 2, Dark World, whatever you want to call it, in between. Let's get on to 2014. In 2014, we had a series, I think we had a duo of films. They were very good. The first one was Captain America Winter Soldier. As I said, like I said before to my cousin, Winter Soldier is one of the most rewatchable films of all time. I put it in the rewatchability section because it's just that good. It was different. It didn't try to bank too much on the superhero genre. It kind of banked on the whole espionage and all sorts of things genre. I can't think of anything else right off the top of my head, so I'll put that in the rewatchability. Guardians of the Galaxy was kind of like what people are trying to treat Eternals right now. But I don't think Eternals is going to do as well as people think it might do because it's just MCU movies under. No. The thing about Guardians of the Galaxy didn't try to do all kinds of stupid race swapping and gender swapping. Guardians of the Galaxy was just Guardians of the Galaxy. Boom, everybody loved it. So I put Guardians of the Galaxy in rewatchability. So let's scoot to 2015. Where we got Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron is a movie that I never can make it through all the way. The only time I probably made it through all the way was when it first was released in 2015. When I tried to watch all the movies leading up to Infinity War, I fell asleep on it and didn't try to turn it back on. So it gets in between, but I really want to put it in non-rewatchability because it's just boring. And it seems like you sit there and watch the movie, and watch everybody in the movie, all the actors and actresses in the movie. It looked like he was getting tired of being in MCU movies, but they know he had to get to the end goal. It just seemed that way. They were just phoning it in with this film. But I had to put Age of Ultron in between. Simply because I can't even say Ultron was that great because Ultron wasn't as whiny and didn't have that. Thing about Ultron in the comics, he didn't really have all that much personality. He's just a robot. But he was dangerous and scary at the same time. They tried to make Ultron with James Spader's voice, trying to make him a crack. I know they tried to base it off Tony Stark's personality, which probably was a big mistake. Should have just had Hank Pym. But who knows? I ain't gonna go on too much about it. So Age of Ultron in between. Speaking of Hank Pym, we're gonna get to Ant-Man. Ant-Man, I want to put it in non-rewatchability. I only seen it twice. I only seen it in theaters, and then I saw it again leading up to Infinity War. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I always thought it was a misstep using Scott Lang as the main Ant-Man instead of using Hank Pym. But it is what it is right now. I think Hank Pym should have made Ultron too, but it is what it is. Moving on. Let's get to 2016. What did 2016 offer other than Batman and Superman and okay, we're not gonna get into that. That's going for a different list. Yeah, Captain America: Civil War. Now, this movie has rewatchability, a lot of it, mainly because of the emotional fighting scene towards the end between Captain America, Iron Man, and Winter Soldier. But movie's action packed throughout the movie. Keeps the interest, but a lot of things had to happen for a lot of things that actually work when it comes to Zemo's plan. It's like he got lucky, it seems like, with that plan. And I think the airplane fighting scene, everybody marvels at it, but it seems too elementary to me. When I mean elementary, it just seems too kiddish. You know, they just all line up and just run to each other and start fighting. I feel like in DC it'd be that whole split, because in DC they got if you think into the whole Injustice storyline that was in the video game and not a comic book also, there were sides. There was a Batman side and there was a Superman side. I just think if DC wasn't do that, I think it wouldn't be so elementary and all kiddish. That's just me. But Civil War is in the rewatchability factor. It's fun to watch, even though a lot of things had to happen for the events of this movie to actually happen. And I also think, I think eventually you do get to see Zemo and his mask and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think you do. I never saw that TV show, but I think you did. I've never seen images, but I think some people don't know that there's been 2 Zemos, and I think one was the father and son duo. But anyways, I'm not gonna go on with that. Moving on. Doctor Strange, non-rewatchability. Like I said, I seen that movie 2 times in theaters, and then leading up to an Infinity War. I'll mostly forget about that movie. I think even when I was making this list, I forgot about that movie. It's weird. Even though Doctor Strange, the character, not really all that bad. But anyways, moving on. I hope I didn't forget anything, because when you get to 2017, it gets kind of tricky because a whole bunch of stuff comes out. So we have Spider-Man: Homecoming, and I think you guys know and realize how I feel about Spider-Man in the MCU. I don't like Spider-Man in the MCU. I hate Spider-Man in the MCU. He's too kiddish. Spider-Man, people don't realize Spider-Man is basically, when you think Marvel, especially before the MCU came around, but when you thought about Marvel, you think about Spider-Man. Then you probably think about the Hulk, and then you probably think about like Wolverine and the X-Men, or something like that. But the first thing anybody says Marvel, you think Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man in MCU has been kiddish, dethroned, not as awesome as he used to be. Keep making him a kid and keep making him basically Iron Man, Iron Boy, extensions of Iron Man, which I hate. But Homecoming is non-rewatchability. I hate that film. Let's go on. Now we got Guardians of the Galaxy 2, or Volume 2 actually. I think Volume 2 actually came out. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 came out before Homecoming. But I had to put that in non-rewatchability. It's boring to me. I'm sorry. I think some people like that one better, but I don't. It's boring. Let's move on. Thor Ragnarok. That's an in-between. When I first seen that movie, me and my boy, we were sitting in the movie theater laughing a lot at the jokes. Don't know why. We weren't high or weren't drinking. We was the only one in that movie theater too, which is weird. The movie just came out. Anyways, no homo. It's in between. It has its thing. It has its times, but some of the plot devices and all that stuff is just dry. I think it got by because it's before Endgame, and you starting to feel that Thanos is around the corner, so I think that's why it gets by sometimes. But it's in between for me. I've only seen it twice now, I think, in theaters, and leading up to watching all these films into Infinity War. Next, Black Panther. Non-rewatchability. I know me being the African American descendant, or not descendant, but race, I should say. I should like this movie, but Black Panther is a cool character, but this movie was just too. I think the stuff surrounding Black Panther leading up to when it came out was just, ugh. You know what I mean? Just, ugh. But it was too much pandering for me to like it. But it gets non-rewatchability. But rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Moving on. Was it 2018 now then? Woo. Man. What can I say about this next film? This film is probably one of the biggest cinematic events of recent times. I think everybody, when this movie came out, ran to the movie theater. Maybe except my dad, because he don't like watching movies when they first come out. He hates it. And I kind of share how and reason why he hates to watch these movies when they first come out. Because let me tell you a little bit of story about Infinity War when it first came out. I watched it on the Sunday. I didn't watch it on the first day, which would have been, I think, Thursday night. Friday night, skipped it Saturday night. Was it Saturday night? Saturday night, Sunday night. I was originally supposed to see it with my boys, but it came out around my birthday, so I had to go spend time with the parents and all that stuff. Whatever. But I saw this movie by myself. It's a weird time. It was a weird time for me around this time. It really was. Anyways, I'm not gonna get into what happened around that time. But this movie it was great. I loved it, but some of you MCU stands are freaking crazy. And like every time something happened in this movie, oh my god, especially when Spider-Man died. Yeah, people crying in the background. I'm sitting there looking like, are y'all serious? Are y'all serious? Why are y'all crying? They're crying in every scene, but this was an emotional movie, but it's not enough for me. When you have dudes crying watching this movie, something's wrong. But this movie is the emotional wasn't so much for me. Yes, I'm used to these characters dying. You see in the comic books all the time, so it's not really all to me. But it's just that all the heroes combined, and you have the Guardians and the Avengers combined. They tried so hard, but Thanos was just on top the whole entire time. They tried everything to stop Thanos, even though he thought Thor was actually the one to get the last shot in. Even though he failed, didn't aim for the head. But Thanos is what I want to see in DC when it comes to Darkseid. You just want to see, because I think Darkseid is the better character between Thanos and Darkseid. I think Darkseid mopped the floor with Thanos. But this is something I want to see with Darkseid. You kind of saw a glimpse of Darkseid on his God boss mode when Cyborg had that little vision in the Zack Snyder Justice League cut. But Thanos was on top of it. So that's why it gets rewatchability. I spent too much time on Infinity War. You can tell how much I like that movie. But let's move on. Then we got Captain. No, we didn't get Captain. Before we get there, they had Ant-Man and the Wasp. Non-rewatchability. That's where that goes. Didn't enjoy it at all. I just forget about it too. I forgot it even came out. It's funny. I was at the gym the other day. It was actually on, but it gets not Ant-Man and the Wasp gets non-rewatchability. I think the reason why it probably got as much money it made because people wanted to see post Infinity War. Then we got Captain Marvel, and we know all the hoopla surrounding this. I didn't see this movie in theaters. I saw it a few months later. I think I saw it after Endgame came out. That's how it was not really big for me. This is when I realized the end was coming for the MCU. Either people don't want to believe it or not. Captain Marvel, I fell asleep on this movie, to tell you the truth. I didn't finish watching the end of it. It was just so boring. So it gets non-rewatchability, and I hope to never see it again. And probably, if I was to watch all these movies again in order, I'd probably skip it. So Endgame, Avengers Endgame. It gets in between because I don't like the time travel. The time travel was just convenient. And it was kind of, and I know what they were trying to do with the time travel. They was trying to build upon what you see now in the MCU with Loki and all the rest of these TV shows coming out on Disney Plus and more movies coming out now that they got Kang the Conqueror coming, which I'm not looking forward to seeing Kang the Conqueror coming because he's probably not he's not going to be what he is in the comic books. He's just known by name. But Endgame is, I like watching the beginning. See Thor's chop off Thanos' head. You got the emotion between Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. And then it's just 3 hours too long, man. That in between there is just boring. You're just waiting to get to the end with the fighting scene with Thanos, the last fight scene with Thanos. So it gets the in between. Then you get another game, post Endgame. Spider-Man Far From Home, which angered me deeply. So that gets now on rewatchability. I'm not even going to go into that anymore. And then lastly, we have Black Widow. Black Widow. It's a terrible movie. I don't care what you guys say. If you think about what the events that happened, you think about it and use your brain of what happened actually. And I think a perfect video, I don't like shouting out at people, but he makes great videos when it comes to just movies in general, breaking down the plot, characterization. Mauler. Watch Mauler's it's long, it's 4-hour video on Black Widow. And he breaks down every single molecular level of Black Widow. And I already knew Black Widow was a terrible movie. He didn't need to break it down for me to understand. Because I was calling this out while I was watching this movie. But he does it on a grander scale, which I never really seen anybody do. Maybe some people do, but I never seen him, Mulder, actually. Well, people do break down a film by this scale. Usually his film reviews on movies are shorter, like up to an hour, but he really laid down to smack him down on Black Widow. But Black Widow gets non-rewatchability, but watch Mulder's. If you ever heard of watch Mulder's review on Black Widow. It's 4 hours long, but you'll enjoy it breaking it down. You can probably be more amazed at how he breaks it down. But that's pretty much it when it comes to all these films. I roll when it comes to breaking down or ranking of these films. Now, of course, this might change when all these films come out, which I'm not looking forward to. I have no enthusiasm with the future films that are coming out. But that's how it is for the MCU. I probably will do more of these lists of rewatchability in between and non-rewatchability and breaking down where these films rank. There's other franchises do this where you got Star Wars, the DCU, maybe even the Nolan series and Indiana Jones, whatever, you get it. So that's pretty much my list. I'm done. My voice is getting dry and my lips are getting parched, so I got to go. You guys know what to do, especially if you're new here. I'm not gonna say it. That's getting corny.